I can't take you seriously.
Does thinking about you?
I mean, yes, but really? That don't sound nice at all. Hold on, my mic sounds busted. This is why you know. I mean, it sounds a lot better. Why does my mic do that? Like, I have to plug it out and plug it in all the time. That doesn't make sense to me. All right, perfect. Holy. How's my mic now? That sound okay?
It's pretty good.
Okay, just making sure, because these settings like to play with me, so.
Actually sounds really good. This is the first time I've ever been able to hear you clearly.
Really?
I'm not kidding. Like, I can hear you so much better than I've ever been able to hear you.
I need to remember what I did so I can keep that.
Please do.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done this in a while. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't done this in a long time, but I know some people want me to go live on YouTube and all that. So here I am. I'm here, guys. What's good? Welcome back to the Flexing Mind Network. Shoot. Quick introductions for everybody. We got you wanna state your name, sis?
Mimi.
Future YouTuber.
Inshallah. Yeah, we're getting started. I told you I'm about to move, so I'm trying to get the setup and everything okay. But I've got the content I want to put, so it'll be easy once I get started.
Okay, that's what's up. And we got a Discord member with us today, ladies and gentlemen. Would you like to state your name, brother?
Yeah, I'm Sean.
Okay. You wanna shout out your YouTube page real quick?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so subscribe to Sean Warren. Where I when I talk about how I feel about certain topics.
Okay, that's what's up. Shout out to Eugene. Appreciate you for stopping by. Okay, so clearly by the title of this live, we're going to be talking about Drake and Kendrick. But we got a little bit of topics for y'all today, so we can keep this conversation / debate healthy and just on track, so we don't get like thrown off beat or anything like that. So let's start with what did I say? The petition. You want to start with the petition, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, because there is a new one.
New developments, you know?
Yeah, I'm not liking this so far. I'm not gonna lie. First, let me say.
There's a certain extent where I feel bad for him, but it's so hard to feel bad for him. I'm so sorry.
Here's the thing, though, because with the whole petition thing now, right? My issue is, why did you go ahead and do this knowing that it's probably not gonna work? You're asking for billions of dollars at this point. Actually, no, not billions, but $1 billion. But you know how these companies are. You know how these corporations are. You're not getting their piece of the pie like that.
But
You're an artist.
He can pay himself out of his deal. He's got a $400 million deal. Plus, he was about to go into renegotiation for a $600 million deal right before this beef happened. He wants to make sure he can at least pay that off and get out of their hair.
It's not gonna work. That's my like. Okay, looking at this overall, and like, not necessarily like you don't have to like you can include the details, yes, but like the problem is like you can see the holes in the whole like petition and the lawsuit, everything. So Why do I want to sit here and believe him talking about he's doing this to support other artists, knowing that this is about money? And then on top of that, with the new defamation case or lawsuit now directed more towards UMG, that's like, bro, you're doing a little bit of dry snitching in there in yourself.
I'm sorry, that made me cackle simply because he really had to specify and highlight that, I'm not suing Kendrick. No, I'm suing UMG. And, like, I get it. You do have to highlight that, but the public is not going to see it as that. They're always going to see it as you suing Kendrick, mostly because Kendrick was the one that made the song. You can be mad at UMG for, like, releasing it. That's all I can say. However, the whole accusations about them promoting it and all these things, that's where I get why people have been calling him a hypocrite. Because I'm so sorry, I actually have had Drake, like, blocked off of my Spotify within playlists, within like tracks for a very long time. But I do remember during Scorpio, I was seeing this motherfucker in playlists that I had nothing to do with him, especially based on the type of music that I was had nothing to do with him. But he was in them. So this is what I'm saying, where it's like it's such a far reach for him to say that they promoted it. You can be mad at them for for allowing it to be published in the first place, but even then, this was during beef. This was during rap beef that was generating the money. He's forgetting that they're still a business. They're still a business. They want to make their money by any means necessary, the same way he wants to make his money by any means necessary. The difference is, one of these people or companies or whatever, or entities, was not accused of what they were accused of.
How about this? Sean, because I know you have your takes. I would like to hear your takes about the petition. What are your thoughts, buddy?
I'm gonna be honest. Like I said in my videos, I don't got much to say about this because I'm not into shit like this. You feel me? So I don't got much, but
Okay. The only reason why, like, I wanted your opinion, if you knew anything about it, is because the stance that you are with when it comes to Drake. Because I remember when I watched your video, you were bringing up some points I was a little bit confused with, but because you're here now, I would love to have that kind of conversation with you, so like we can kind of get both sides of the situation, so we can come to like, not necessarily like, there's no need to have like a proper agreement, because at the end of the day it's mainly more about like your perspective and like how you see this artist. It's just how I see Drake now, the light is very dim, if I'm going to be really honest, because all these like actions that he's taking, he never needed to do any of this. That's the issue with why I see Drake differently, and a lot of other YouTubers see him differently as well. Like, the more he moves like this, the more his light is dimming, right? And for what I see him at, like where I see him at right now, like it's not looking good, and it's just gonna get worse and worse. And seeing this petition, like, it kind of proves it, bro. And even like the new lawsuit too, everything is being proved. Like, your actions, like no, bro, it's not good. Okay, let's not bring that here, okay? I understand that we're Canadian, but we don't move like that. I don't subscribe to that.
I have to let that out because that's genuinely how I feel. Like, it's very strange movements. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, so we got JX Unhinged leaving a comment saying, I think Drake is trying to stay relevant until he can manage to shape the narrative. Even bad publicity is good publicity when you just need your name mentioned. That speaks to the topic later, though, when it comes to the character of the artist. Because it's gotten to a point, like, his whole character is just, it's shifted around, it's mixed up. It doesn't look good right now compared to how he was prior this. In all honesty, he shouldn't even started this beef, if we're going to be completely honest.
I need you to not get me started on that, because I will start and will not stop. I've sent you 6-minute voice notes over this shit. Do not get me started.
That's valid. I mean, we can get into that a little bit.
But I'm just saying that is honestly for me point blank period. In this life, you gotta know who you can battle with. I think Drake very much overestimated himself, and that's okay. Sometimes he was at the top. He really was. He just picked the wrong op. Like, he just picked the wrong op, and that happens. I just don't think he's taking this L very well. He's crashing out. He's crashing out so bad. It's actually kind of scary.
When I see all this in front of me, all these lawsuits, all these articles about it, I get discouraged. I'm not gonna lie, because this is pretty much our representation of Canada's best. If we're gonna be super honest, it doesn't look good on us.
It's not looking good at all.
I'm just not a fan.
So I'm so glad I'm not born here.
Yeah, I am. Down the street, mind you. Don't do that. That's not fair. Okay, how about this, Sean? What are your thoughts on... We can go to the character thing, to be honest. It might make the conversation a little bit easier when we talk about his character, just for engagement and everything like that. So, what do you think is Do you think Drake has any problems right now? How do you see Drake right now? That's an even better question. How do you see him right now?
Man, that's a good question. Yeah, to be honest, I'm a real Drake fan. To be honest.
Okay.
And to be honest, I see him a certain way to be specific, I see him as a man that's basically confused, and he's justified in doing that. He's justified in feeling that way, because what else can you do? What else can you do when basically everybody is kicking your back in 24/7, day in, day out, especially when it comes to this situation. I get that. So I get his frustration when it comes to this lawsuit, even with the DeMar DeRozan shit. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but like, we kind of see it differently though, because, and mind you, we're from Canada and Canadian pride is very strong, but I can't sit here and defend Drake when this is how he is at his truest form. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like the actions throughout this whole situation is just, this is the real you, because you're spiraling. You know, like oh, okay. Let's not forget. Let's not forget now the beginning of Euphoria. That first minute that Kendrick gave him, really breaking him down. Just, bro, like, your superpowers are getting neutralized for real, bro.
Only wanted violence.
It doesn't look good. Like, I understand, because that's your GOAT. That's great, but I could never put him in that status. I could never put him there.
Can I also argue something?
Sure.
I genuinely do believe that a lot of us, especially in this day and age with social media making celebrities so easily available for our consumption, I think we put them a little bit too high on a pedestal. Because at the end of the day, even during this beef, even during this beef, when I was really listening to a lot of like Drake's tracks, like I watched the reactions for it because I'm a big hater. I'm not giving him the screens. With that being said, when I was hearing things that he was supposedly accusing Kendrick of, I was willing to, not to say switch sides, but I was willing to still go against Kendrick, because at the end of the day, if he is actually a woman beater, I'm not willing to like actually promote that. With that being said, there was no proof to justify those accusations. And more importantly, on the contrary, with Drake, it's like the accusations that were being made about him, they were pretty severe. And it's not to say that there was evidence provided in the moment, but there was a lot of like videos floating around, the fact that he has a lot more relationships or just very weird interactions with women who are, to be quite honest, a little too young for his taste. Even people like, oh, mentorship. I'm so sorry, mentor the niggas. Why are you mentoring the women? Like, and especially as like specifically Millie Bobby Brown, whatever. She's an actor. Yes, he used to be an actor back in the day, but at that point when he had met her, he was a musician. There's like, you're far out of the game from acting to be trying to be giving advice or mentoring. You should be speaking to the niggas that want to be rappers. There's a lot of people that reach out to him that want to be rappers. Mentor them. So my point is, because we put so much people on high pedestals, we're not willing to actually accept when they are doing questionable shit. And that's where I feel like a lot of people were having to realize when it came to Drake, because he was up there. He was deemed as like, you know, little rap god, all these things. So he came in it with a little bit of arrogance. I think that's where his downfall started coming. He was not willing to actually accept the fact that his behavior over the last years would be brought back up to the forefront, and he would have to take accountability for it. That's why he's spiraling. That's exactly why he's spiraling. He was spiraling long before like Kendrick even dropped anything. In Taylor Made, he utilized other artists' voice, like West Coast artists' voices, to basically coax Kendrick out of the shadows. And he was even bringing up things that he thought Kendrick should talk about. And just as a person, forget celebrity status, forget all that shit. As a person, how could you willingly coax somebody to bring up allegations about you being a pedophile long before they even said anything? He was trying to play the 8 Mile route. It didn't work out, because even in 8 Mile, like, what's it called? Eminem was talking about, oh, him being white and all, like, living white trash, all that shit. That's not as bad as you saying, oh, yeah, I dare you to call me a pedophile. Who says it's ridiculous? But when you take them off that pedestal, you realize that they're just regular people. And that's why it's like, yes, it's unfortunate that Drake is going through this, but he kind of has to kind of remind y'all that these are regular people. They're not gods. This is a regular person.
It's not necessarily that he has to, but it's like, this always happens to artists. You always get humbled, no matter who you are.
The world is gonna humble you, no matter what. The world's gonna humble you as a person. That's why I'm saying you are going to get humbled because we are simply human. I understand the point that Sean was trying. We are simply human. It's unfortunate that he has to go through this. But with that being said, being human also means that we have free will. He had the free will to not say a goddamn thing to even start this beef in the first place, but still chose to, knowing what was lying underneath. So even him saying, oh, UMG allowed this, they also allowed you to drop that freaking tailor-made freestyle where you said the same thing. So how are you, like, it actually is redundant and a little bit hypocritical. You said it first, but you got mad because when he said it, boom, everybody's like dancing to it. That's why you're mad. Nobody likes you. Not nobody. People like you.
Hey, breathe.
Not as many people like you, but yeah.
Breathe. This girl about to blow up, bro. All right, so we have Alicia in the chat saying, what message does this send to young men? Is it cool to be a sore loser? I wouldn't stress too much. I wouldn't stress too much on the sore loser part, but
yeah, it depends on the situation.
See, I can agree with that.
We're not condoning crash outs.
But here you got to keep that in mind. I'm glad you said that. You got to keep that in mind though. The younger generation, with all them YNs and all of them, it's a crash out generation. So, like it's tough.
And that's fine. Like, again, crashing out, it happens. If I was in Drake's position, I'd be crashing out too. However, there's ways to crash out. You can crash out in the sidelines. You can crash out in silence. You can crash out in ways that are not directly impacting other people, which I don't know if this would be a good segue into the fighting Irish thing, but it's like LeBron getting pulled into that.
No.
I'm just saying he was crashing out a little too hard because what led, I'm so sorry, like that was
Yo, why is LeBron in this shit?
Thank you. What? I would be. Yo, why am I in it? Like,
So we got Juice in the chat saying you're suing a record label and distributor for doing their job.
thank you.
This is the issue, cause okay, when it comes to your character as an artist, this is your core. This is who you are. If this is how you're moving currently,
it's your image. You cannot.
yes, because you got to remember, like, cameras are always on him, right? So you're never gonna really see the kind of person that he is behind those doors.
Here's the other thing. Drake has also made that a choice to have those cameras on him all the time.
That's valid. That's valid.
Because when you think about it, how many, like, obviously a lot of celebrities post on IG, they do their stories and whatever, but a lot of them do that mostly when they're just promoting their tracks. Like, they're not always in the media like that. Drake has made it, like, his thing to be so transparent with his fans where he's always in front of a camera. But that's because that $400 million deal, he kind of has to. Like, they are literally, they paid him for his likeness. Anything that he does in videos, anything that he does, like, pictures, they own that. So he has to do that. And that's how he's going to get out of that deal quicker. But now it's slowed down. He's going to have to stay in that deal longer because when his pictures are not doing what they used to do. His tracks are not doing what they used to do. Dropping that 100 track thing, I was like, bruh, why would you do that? That's something you could have kept in lock and key until your comeback was ready. I'm sure people would have loved that, but people are too focused on this beef right now. You played yourself and just actually leaked probably millions of dollars out for free. Because you're crashing out. Keep crashing out.
What are your thoughts, Sean? You there, bro? Yeah, I just want to know what are your thoughts on everything we just said.
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah.
Or you just taking your time with the answer, or? Oh wow, shoot! Oh, chat's going a little crazy. All right, so I'll let you think about like your response. I'm just gonna talk to the chat a little bit. So we got who we got first. Oh shoot! Okay, so we got Brianna. Shout out to Brianna. Are you actually from Jamaica? Like, be so free. Are you Jamaican or are you from Jamaica? Like, yo, let me know right now because I want to send you some big ups. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so Alicia, Juice, Brianna. Shout out to all three. So we got Juice with the UMG response. Doesn't seem like they are gonna make an example out of him. Did you hear about the UMG response, Michelle?
I was still reading into that, but they were basically calling this shit ludicrous. They're like, what are you talking about, right?
Yeah, and yo, like, honestly, like, I kind of skimmed through it, to be honest, because, like, I want to make sure I get to the live first, because, like, it's been a minute. It's been a super hot minute, but, like,
Let's see if I can pull it up. The one that I found, I'll kind of skim through it, but...
Okay.
It just made me laugh. But, okay, let me know when you're ready to go into what I saw, and I was like,
We'll get to that in a second. Yes, we got Brianna. She is definitely born and raised in Jamaica. Listen, if I had a stream deck, you know I hit the horn for you. I ain't got no stream deck. You know, I got a controller. I ain't got no stream deck. But you know I'm gonna hit them horns for you. Best believe. So just imagine them real quick and just, you know, appreciate you. Who we got? We got Alicia. UMG sounds like they are going to hold Kendrick down to me. I can agree with that, but at the same time, I could disagree. Because, like, they're probably going to hold him down for a moment. But I wouldn't even phrase it as hold him down. Cause UMG's just the distributor. They're just doing their job, right? So as long as Kendrick provides, they'll do their job. So that's the thing, because when I see like them talk about bots, I'm like, I've explained this a lot when it comes to the bots. There's no way this man bought bots. I'm not gonna lie to you. If we're gonna be completely honest.
Okay. So I'm reading the statement right now that.
Okay, go ahead. Yep.
They're saying not only are these claims untrue, but the notion that we would seek to harm the reputation of any artist, let alone Drake, is illogical. And then it says, we have invested massively in his music, and our employees around the world have worked tirelessly for many years to help him achieve historic commercial and personal financial success. Which I want to stop there and be like, this is why it seemed hypocritical, because it's like, when you beat Meek didn't come out here and say, oh, they were promoting your shit, and you didn't try and, you weren't saying nothing then. And again, historic, he hit numbers following that. With Scorpio, probably hit numbers because of that promotion that UMG was doing for him. However, it goes on to say, throughout his career, Drake has intentionally and successfully used UMG to distribute his music and poetry to engage in conventionally outrageous back and forth rap battles to express his feelings about other artists. He now seeks to weaponize the legal process to silence an artist's creative expression and to seek damages from UMG for distributing that artist's music. So this one's like exactly what I forget who it was in the chat was saying, but he's trying to sue them for doing their job. Their job is to distribute, to give all this music to the masses, and they've been doing that for Drake for how many years? But suddenly, this is where he draws the line.
Do you kind of like, sorry, is it Sean or Sean? Please let me know. But like,
yes, it's Sean.
It's Sean. Okay, all right, my fault. That's my fault. But do you kind of see how a lot of people out there are kind of like changing their perspective about Drake? Like you kind of get that now, right? Because like it looks weird. It's big weirdo energy, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Yeah, I kind of get what they're saying, but at the same time, again, just look at it from Drake's perspective. What can you do, honestly? Because let's be honest, he's gonna get shit anyway. When even if he doesn't say anything, he's gonna get shit for that. Like you feel what I'm saying?
No, I hear what you're saying, but like, it's tough to see it your way right now, if I want to be honest, because if you claim to be that top dog, you claim to be the #1 rapper, you claim that top spot, you gotta move as such. If you want to wear that crown, you have to move with royalty in your heart, in your spirit, and in your character as well. The way he's moving currently is that's not king-like. Kings don't move like this. And if you really are that person again, you would easily put out a track better than Not Like Us. It's tough. Don't get it twisted, because that West Coast sound, that West Coast bounce is prominent. It's hard to combatant. But if you're that dude, this should be no problem for you. But throughout the tracks that we've heard from him, including Fighting Irish, like, it's, what is this? Like, you know? I don't know, it's tough. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that. But I do believe he has it in him to make something greater than that. All right, but that's all I'm gonna say when it comes to that.
Okay.
Okay.
He has that album. He has the joint album with Party Next Door. You know, but like, I want to hear him rap. I don't want to hear him sing like that, if we're going to be honest.
Matter of fact, I want him to sing again.
Yo, what is wrong with you?
He needs to go back and sing. Because Brandy, as Sean said, there's nothing that he can say at this point. There's nothing that he can do within the rap game that will put him back in the rap game. Go back to pop. Go back to R&B. He has nothing left here. Maybe not right now. Maybe later down the line. But right now, I'm so sorry. He's cooked.
I wanted to talk towards that because it's actually healthy to take a break.
Thank you. But again, I pointed out he can't take breaks. He owes too much money, bro.
It's tough, bro.
Like, he literally owes too much money. And again, it's so unfortunate, but it's hard to feel bad for somebody who literally started this shit. Like, I'm sorry. How do you start some shit and then run and play victim? That's really the problem here. That's why a lot of people have lost respect, because it's like, you started this, you lost, suddenly, oh, no, he did too much. Why did you start it then? He actually gave you so many warnings. That was my problem. Kendrick gave him so entirely too many. More than I would have given. More than I would have given. Every single track, even just that little feature in like that was a warning. That was simply just a warning. He's like, we can keep this friendly. Like, this is key. Like, we can keep this friendly. He just didn't. He just didn't. That's so unfortunate, but...
And yeah, that's the thing though. He look, we know he doesn't rock with Kendrick even before this battle, so I understand him not even listening to him. Matter of fact, I think that's just justified, to be honest. But I see your point there.
Because, okay, the one thing that really struck out to me, especially during this beef, was the bar in Euphoria where he says, like, there was a feature request. To this day, I think people have speculated, I don't know if it's for sure, that the feature was for first-person shooters since they went on to talk about the big three. But for Drake to still go about doing the feature, even if Kendrick said no, that was also something where I was like, okay, cool. That was like a business decision. But then for the context of what was said on First Person Shooter, when I listened to the part that a lot of people were referencing, because I've never actually listened to the song like in like full, but the parts that Kendrick was particularly responding to, J. Cole, I kept it friendly. Like, he really kept it friendly and was whatever. Drake, it seemed like he was intentionally trying to exclude Kendrick, and it is what it is. But that's why I think it was also fair where Kendrick, his response wasn't even like a whole track or nothing. It wasn't like a solo track or nothing. It was just a little feature to say, stop bringing me up in these conversations. Like, I basically did not want to do that feature for a reason. Like, stop bringing me up in these conversations. It was very mutual. We don't like each other. I don't like you. Tip for tap. Drake just kind of kept egging it on, though. Like, that's where I was like, you're kind of egging it on. You're doing a little too much. But listen, it all makes for fun because we all had a good time listening to everything. We all had a good time enjoying. It's just really unfortunate that the repercussions of this beef were just really not in Drake's favor. But that's why I don't blame him for crashing out. I really don't. This is actually a little entertaining, but I don't blame him for crashing out. It's just unfortunate that because he's made his life so public, unfortunately, it's also very easy to find out information from him. And he likes to talk. He's always talking to academics, supposedly. He's always talking to, like, the streamers, all these things.
Don't get me started on that rat.
They fight his ass every time. But it's like, you can literally just move in silence, and you would have almost none of these problems.
Yo, Drake needs to fully... Sorry, hold on. Drake needs to fully disassociate himself with academics. I just want to say that. Let academics stay in his basement, okay? That big mansion that he claims he has, I don't even think that's his shit. That might be an Airbnb. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't trust him. I don't like him. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Sean? Go ahead. I just want to put that out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. People are gonna like I said, people are gonna give him shit for that, but yeah, I get that he needs to take a break, but then again, the partner's gonna say that he pussied out or make some excuse. Which
Sorry. Sorry, finish what you were saying. Go on.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. He should take a break, but people, like, if he took a break or even ignored Kendrick completely, people are gonna make excuses like he pussing out, and yeah, I just it would have been equally as bad, to be honest. I feel like.
That's fair. And again, I've already even acknowledged that Drake was in a situation where it's lose-lose. There's no way that he was going to come out of this unscathed. But that's the thing. This is rap beef. He was like, neither party was going to come out unscathed regardless of who ended up winning. The problem with Drake is that because he's so in the public, he can't be quiet. He can't knife and beat for long enough to just kind of let things settle. And the only thing that I would argue is I actually think he would have been better off not saying anything. A lot of people were, even some Drake fans have really been begging him just be silent for a little while and let things like blow over. But he's just not. That's why things keep getting worse. If he actually was silent, I'm not gonna cap, I think he would have been better off. But he's kind of done a little too much damage at this point.
Yeah, no, a lot of people in the chat are agreeing that he has to take a break. I see Unhinged saying he needs to take a break, disappear, self-reflect, and come back next year. Honestly, give it 2 years, bro. And I've been
a lovely start, but I suggest some ayahuasca things.
Oh my God, you're still quoting Kendrick. We get it.
I'll never stop.
He broke it down, but look, in all honesty, he needs to really like not only take a break, but he needs to get rid of the people that he has around him.
That part.
Because you and me know how Toronto niggas are, okay? Especially me. Especially me. They don't know nothing about the culture. Yo, for anybody out there, for the 17 people watching right now, listen. Toronto men, Toronto black men, the ones that claim to be rappers and gangsters, they don't know nothing about the culture. And if I'm going to be completely honest, majority of them are Somalian. I said it. Majority of them are Somalian, bro. we got Somalian men running Toronto streets. If we're going to be super duper honest with this.
That's actually T though.
Yo, it's so sad to see, because me personally, like, I worked security in Toronto at the time, and when I say it was mainly Somalians showing up on the block, especially on King Street, bro. Yeah, no, he needs to shift around and get rid of some people in his clique, because I feel like they're bringing him down more than uplifting him, because I feel like he's surrounding himself with a bunch of yes men, and there's nobody around him that's going to tell him no, or, debate him on certain things that he's doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, like, you see, like, sorry, what are you going to say?
Not to quote Kendrick again or anything, but in 616 and like, that's why he needs to really reground and watch his crew, because there's been a mole. We've been know that. But with that being said, it's like, I'm sorry, if I ever found out there was a mole in my crew, I would go ghost until I find that motherfucker. No one's hearing a word from me until I find that. Nothing will be safe until I know. And that's the problem. That's why nothing is safe with Drake right now. He's got leaks coming out all, like, let's be so for real.
Family Matters, meet the Grams. Family Matters, meet the Grams. You heard what I said. You like.
Like what? It's nuts. Never been done.
Oh, I don't even know, man. It's just, cause this, okay. Once we're done with this whole like topic, like I want to move on to like the whole marketing and advertising portion. That's my area, by the way. Only because like for him to bounce back from this, and I already predicted it, and it kind of came true, cause he mentioned it on Adam Ross's stream. But to bounce back from this is to really connect yourself in the city. Like more involvement in your city. If this is the place that you claim home, not Texas, but if you claim Toronto as your home, you got to be more involved, because if we're going to be super duper honest with this, he's barely involved in the city. He just shows face and cuts.
What was the fact that the God's Plan video was was not shot in Toronto was actually like diabolical to me. Diabolical. You went out of your own home country to do that, but the people in this country have not seen squat from you. Nah, fam, that was actually diabolical.
But here's the confusing part about the people here, about the fans here, because I don't think people really understood the meaning behind of that bad move that he made. Because people were saying, oh, look at him giving out money to the less fortunate, da-da-da-da-da. But I'm like, bro, this is Drake is your GOAT. Drake is from Canada. Drake.
They ignored.
Yeah, like, yo, like, no, for real, like, for someone that claims Toronto and is from Toronto, but doesn't do much for Toronto, but does more across the border for other people than his hometown, there's a problem in that, and not enough people in the city were voicing that.
The thing is, like when I first saw it, I literally thought, I was like, oh, is that like a campus at a school that I've just never been to, like in Ontario, or maybe it's like out of Ontario? Then I was
Right?
in the comments saying, like, this is not even in Canada. I was like, whoa.
Shout out to Juice. Juice saying, why are we acting like Drake didn't drop 14 tracks after the beef and none of them hit? If he had a hit,
it was like 100 babes. Like, what are we talking about? It was like
nah. See, here's the thing. For 100 gigs, it was only like maybe like 3-4 tracks in there.
Oh, okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
I saw like bare tracks, so I was like,
Nah, it was not like 3-4 tracks that he dropped in 100 gigs. 100 gigs was mainly like behind the scenes nonsense.
yeah.
But like every other track, even the feature was Sexy Red, and then he was rapping over like the BBL Drizzy beat. He needs to get away from these people.
Speaking of get away from these people, I think we need to talk about the people who got away from him. I say this because, like, this was where I kind of like I knew his downfall was imminent.
Mm-hmm.
Forget whole I think I said this in the voice note that I sent to you, but forget Meet the Grams and what it did when it came to how his fans looked at him, especially when they talked about like, oh, if you're playing him, you're playing with sisters, and like that association. Like, he made it so hard for fans to actually be associated with him because you now have that stuck in your brain. With that being said, with They Not Like Us, that I think it's that third verse where he starts naming people that Drake has reached out to basically culture vulture off of. The name drops he did, have you seen any of them in his corner since the beef? None of them are like posting up with him. None of them are posting about him. Not like there's no features happening. There's nothing. So he's really lost his touch within even just the industry, and that's why it's going to be so hard for him to come back. And he's right. He does need to focus back up within Canada and get the morale back up within Canadians, because they're the only people left in his corner. Unfortunately, a lot of us have also just realized like he's a lame ass nigga. And I say realize, but some of us have known this for a minute. Because he's been fueling for any ladies in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever met a man who's a Drake fan, you know what I mean. Like, they are the worst.
Hey, be respectful. Be respectful. I still have some love for him.
Randy, and I still say you're just a man. You're still just a man, and I'll never stop saying that.
Man, I hate you sometimes. I swear to God. It's love, though. That part. Oh, my God. Ooh, hold on, yo. Juice, bro, he brought up a really good point, bro. Where is Roy Woods? Oh, man. Did you hear his EP, actually?
Roy Woods?
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it in a minute, but that's why I was asking. I was like, where he been at?
Yo, because here's the thing. He dropped the EP, and I haven't heard nobody talk about it.
We didn't know about it.
See, I look for music, so you know me on my Fridays. I'm looking for new shit. So when I saw it and I listened to it, I listened to the full thing on stream. I was blown away. That was a really good EP. About 6-7 tracks. Perfect. But nobody's talking about it. And isn't he a part of OVO? OVO?
I think so.
What's going on there?
Other shit. He's not even promoting his own artist, so how embarrassing.
We got Gold Josie saying Drake is a cringe lord. Only way he realized what he needs to do is if all comes crashing down on his head. But he has enough distractions to keep that from happening for a while. Yo, it's all crashing right now. Let's be honest. If you see the lawsuit, everything else, all the things that are happening around him, the man got banned for talking on the mic at the NBA games, bro. The man got banned. Like, yo, shout out to the Ville. I wish I can get him in on this shit, bro.
I just remembered those clips I saw of him at that ball game, and he's like grilling. Was it DeMar DeRozan?
It was the most recent one, I think.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. That was so funny to me because I'm like, that's such a bad bitch thing to do. Like,
Well, you know that he got soul ties with a lot of girls, so.
nigga, he's got soul ties with niggas, bro. He has no soul ties with women, bro. It's them tattoos. He's got too many tattoos of these men's on his face.
Yo, can we talk about how this man has LeBron tatted on his left arm?
And Lil Wayne on his shit. Please, let's not forget, it's multiple men on his body. Multiple men.
Don't put it like that. Why you gotta put it like that? There's some dudes out there that got other dudes tatted on. Okay.
Exactly. You have to stop talking because you already heard. Okay, I'm sorry. I love my girls. I love my girls to death. I'm not getting them tattooed on me. Like, I'm so sorry. That just, it logically does not make sense. Only because, again, I've said idolizing people is actually genuinely, like, insane. Why are you, like, they're people. They are just people. The same way you are just a person. Get a grip.
You gonna tell that to Keyshawn and Chris Brown?
I would say that until there's no breath left in my lungs.
Shout out to Keyshawn, bro. Miss him.
So, yeah. I just want some fried rice, bro.
Yo, Sean, do you have any more thoughts that you want to throw out there, bro?
No.
What about, because I remember you were talking about some of the YouTubers that were turning their back on Drake. Did you want to speak towards that, or?
Which YouTubers? Is it the ones that I mentioned in multiple of my videos?
Yeah, like, I know you were talking about, Screwface Jean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was nothing personal. I just really fuck with his content.
Okay.
I just.
What were you saying?
Huh?
What were you saying, sorry?
Nothing. Just. Yeah, I was just saying. I just fuck with him. Fuck with him and his content. Alright, he seems like a chill dude. So it's just like, what the fuck, bro?
No, it's valid. It's valid. To see like someone that cared for Drake just immediately switch. It's fair, but the details show what's really going on with him, bro. Trust me. All right. Anything else you want to chat before I move on to the marketing portion? Last thoughts, all that jazz.
What were you just talking about?
No, he was just talking about we were just going over some of the YouTubers that like kind of like turned it back. So we mentioned Screwface. That's it. It's not that I'm saying he switched Juice. Sorry, just to clarify, the video that Sean put out a video. If you want to like chat with him, get the video link, all that, or if you want to join the Discord, the video link is in the Discord. But he's just chatting, like he's just giving his own thoughts and opinions about people that were like switching on Drake. But if I want to clarify to kind of help out, it's not necessarily switch. It's just like, from what is shown, they had to change their opinion. Because if you're going to see what you saw that happened in the beef and ignore it like Academics, Maul, Adam 22, and any of these other guys, then you're just doing a disservice to the culture at this point, if we're going to be super honest.
If we're also being super honest, I think, me personally, it's just critical thinking. When you're presented with new information, you're allowed to change your opinion on people or things or beliefs.
Why you sound like an answering machine? What's wrong with you?
Don't say that. I got told last week by 2 different customers that I sound like an AI. They're like, "Am I speaking to AI?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
Shit, that's crazy. So, okay, now I want to pivot towards like the whole marketing portion behind why this is embarrassing. Because now I don't think Drake understands. Like, I think I think honestly, okay, I think Drake is moving one moment at a time, and he's not seeing the bigger picture behind what he's doing. It's gotten to a point where it's like, bro, like you're not boss man D-Lo. You're not down here. You know, you're not down here with big tracks. You know what I'm saying? You're top dog right now. You have to be very mindful of how you move, because if you are not paying attention to your own actions, which he's absolutely not, it's gonna literally screw up your whole branding to the point where you have to run away and rebuild your whole brand. Like, I don't think, this is why I say he has to get rid of the people that he keeps around him, because I think he's just keeping a bunch of niggas around him that just don't know shit.
You wanna know why I also think he's not thinking of the grand scheme of things? So, I mean, in the past, Drake has been accused or known to leak tracks. So, especially I think it was with Push Up or something like that. It was leaked, and then after people were saying like, "Oh, it was good" or whatever, that's when he suddenly was like, "Oh yeah, that was me," and dropped it. So I did see like a YouTuber, I forget his name, if I remember, or I'll look it up soon. But he was pointing out that this being a habit of his is why it doesn't seem coincidental that right after the leak for Fighting Irish, there's also the leaks of the DMs. Like, to jump ahead, but like it's that if that's part of his marketing gimmick where he puts himself into controversy, because as people have said, like, even bad publicity is good publicity. Like, that's the problem. Like, Drake's not in a position right now where he should be even allowing further bad publicity on him, and that's what he's not clocking. He's not looking at the bigger picture of, this is my legacy that I'm going to be leaving behind, and he's not paying attention to, like, this is what people are going to remember you as. Even if he decided to maybe do something like donate to like sex trafficking organization, like to like anti-sex trafficking organ. Even if he did all of that, right now it's too fresh. That's why a lot of people are saying like he needed to go ghost for just even 2 years before he did the semblance of anything. Like, I'm not even saying drop a track, before he even walked out of his house and a paparazzi picture is taken of him. Like, he needs to lay low, but he didn't. And this is what now, unfortunately, his legacy is becoming. A hypocrite, a sore loser, someone who's just not a part of the culture, because within the culture, who's suing? Who's okay, you didn't sue, but who's petitioning for a lawsuit? Who's doing all these things about defamation? And he's not understanding that for a defamation case, like, they will have to go into evidence. They will have to prove that it's defamation. And the accusations that Kendrick kind of put out, there was already videos floating around of him with that 17-year-old girl on stage within almost like hours of They Not Like, before even They Not Like Us. Like, those videos were floating around because they exist. Even just pulling that out is enough could be enough evidence within court. And now he's just shooting himself in the foot. He's not thinking of the bigger picture. He should have just actually stayed silent.
Sad to see. It's sad to see.
Is it? Is it?
Well, as a Canadian, yes. Don't do that.
But yeah, okay.
You gotta show some Canadian pride. I'm just more realistic. I'm just not.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just not black. Oh, wow. No, you're wrong for that. We get it. You're not born in Canada, cool, but you still reside here.
Not for long. I tell everybody, I'm dying here, bro. Like, this is really unfortunate. The economy is not in our favor for me to be able to rack up the bills that I need to get the fuck out of here, but my escape is loading.
Canada is down bad right now, bro.
So bad. Oh my god, like, I'm so sorry. Our prime minister just literally resigning is crazy.
I'm glad he did.
Listen, you gotta think about the lesser of two evils. You know, Pierre? That's like, bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, back to the topic.
Yeah, back to the whole marketing portion. Also, him, like, I don't think he understood, like, the importance of this beef. Because, no, he didn't. Because, like, this is, like, over a decade, no?
Wendy, I'm going to tell you, he did. He was just, okay, so I think I told you, I might have said this on, like, the last stream.
Okay, go ahead.
But remember how, right following this beef, he was going to be going into another deal with UMG for 600 mil.
Okay.
I believe he was hoping that he would win this beef so that that deal would go smoothly. And the other thing I remember somebody had pointed out was when he initially started this, especially with first-person shooter, the whole feature request and whatnot, he probably still proceeded to go with it because he was like, okay, even if it's against Kendrick, it's still going to be 2 against 1. Unfortunately for him, Cole backed out. Cole said, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole, hon. And backed out. So it became a 1v1 or I guess 1v20 in the sense that Drakes were just coming at random people. That was actually what I thought it made him lose steam. Because Kendrick was the one that responded. Why are you bringing up all these other niggas? I get it, they might have been involved with the album or whatnot, but you actually could have just kept it to just you and Kendrick, and it would have had a lot more heat and more steam because we would have known you're trying to go toe-to-toe with one person. You trying to turn this into a 1v20 when you know you have ghostwriters and that could be easily flipped on you? Fail. Instant fail. That's where he played himself. But the reason why I think, like, he knew what he was getting himself into is simply because he was trying to get some steam going. That's why he was provoking Kendrick so much. I think if maybe it was like a year prior, because again, First Person Shooter came like at least a year before Kendrick's response at all. If it was a year prior, I don't think he would have went as hard as he did. But because of that deal coming up, he needed that win. Unfortunately, he took that a massive L. Like, this was it. Because think about it. If he beat Kendrick, someone who has a Pulitzer Prize, like, if he beat Kendrick, UMG would have given him more than 600 mil.
That's why I say I don't think he really understood the situation.
Okay, he didn't understand the situation as in, like, he didn't know who he was playing with. He didn't know his op, but he knew what he was trying to get himself into.
That part, but that's it. Because
that's it, but that's enough to still, okay, if I know I'm about to get into a rap beef, bitch, I'm about to find out everything I can about my op. Every single thing that I can. Unfortunately, Drake actually, I don't think he thought Kendrick was going to respond. Never mind a fucking year later. Because if we're being completely honest, who responds a year later besides a literal psychopath? And that's why I love Kendrick. Because during that year, I'm sure he was getting as much dirt as he possibly can. And probably even writing that into, because people have been saying, like, Euphoria was supposed to be like an 18-minute song or something like that. And probably all these tracks were just it split up. He's been plotting, whereas Drake's just been living his life in Turks and Caicos doing the most when he should have been getting dirt. That's why when this beef was happening, he was trying to get dirt last minute and nobody was giving it to him. He had already had that mole in his camp for so long and he didn't even realize because he didn't understand who his op was. So that's what I'm saying. He knew what he was getting himself into. He's getting himself into a rap beef, but he did not plot correctly. He just didn't do it correctly. He was unprepared. That's it. He was unprepared. There's something I'm trying to say. Like, there's a phrase I'm trying to say. Or, like, I'll get back to it. But he just played himself really hard because, I'm sorry, who goes into battle without knowing what you're... And they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. He did not clock that enough time.
He kept that man at bay. It's just... Because, like what I was going to say, like, he didn't understand anything with this shit. If we're going to be honest. Because, like, you stepped in, like, so one of the reactors said, you stepped into a ring with a dog with rabies, bro. This dog gonna bite you and is poisonous. And you gave him ammo.
What I'm saying. He thought he was meek. Like, he thought Kendrick was meek. And that is such a disrespectful, for being quite honest. It's
bro, like, even think about it like this. If you want to even simplify that, he didn't just think about it like he was meek. He just treated the situation just like that. But watch this now. You see how he went back to back on him? By dropping push-ups and tailor-made? And everyone's like, yo, you gotta wait for Kendrick.
Yep.
That just proves to you this is a different monster that you stepped into the ring with. And he doesn't understand it. A lot of people at the time were saying the fact that all these individuals have recency bias when it comes to Kendrick is astounding.
Yep. They think because Kendrick's hasn't really been in the game like that for so long that he's soft. And that was so crazy because I was like, do you know who we're talking about?
But this is the kind of person that takes breaks. Healthy breaks.
Because he understands the concept of quality art where it's like you have to put that much time into it. You have to know, you gotta listen to it several times to know like, yeah, no, this is the one type shit. You gotta get your opinions. It takes long to make like good art, period. With that being said, there's also someone who understands the concept of being missed. If you're constantly putting shit out, no one's gonna miss you. And matter of fact, people are gonna get tired of you because they're like, damn, bitch, you don't ever stay quiet. Like I just started listening to your last album. Like I'm trying to catch up. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Like you see, like the two different brands that went head to head, and the traditional and the brand that stuck towards the culture came out as a superior individual. And the brand that was focused more on data, using beats and lyrics that more resides with like the younger generation or people that just care for a hit track. You see how that side lost and the side that's towards culture won?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, okay, and I think it was in Renaissance, in the last verse, there was a bar where he was saying like, in this life as Kendrick Lamar, basically trying to raise the bar. Like, his priority is about raising the bar. It was a double entendre in the sense that, like, he's trying to raise the standard for rap music and, like, the industry, but also trying to raise the bar for the type of lyrics that are coming out because a lot of it is very subpar. So it's like, that's exactly, it's two opposing concepts that were basically battling with each other. Overconsumption versus, like, quality consumption.
Quality always beats quantity.
Every time, without fail. So I don't know why, like, people are so ignorant to that.
Think about it, to this day. Everyone still listens to 90s and 2000s music.
That's almost exclusively what I listen to. I'm not even gonna cap. It's been 2 years since I've actually delved back into music, like, heavily as much as I did last year. But 9 or 10 times I'm listening to oldies. I don't care.
Like, think about it. An era where a lot of individuals had, like, these big boxes and all these, like, these knobs and everything in their studio. Some people in the 90s probably had some wooden boxes, if we're going to be super honest.
Straight up record players. What are you talking about?
Right? Compared to the technology and everything that we have today, and the shit from back then still is better.
Yeah, it's too accessible right now. That's why it's like anything can come out. Whereas back in the day, you had to be really passionate about music and art in that way to even go out of your way to invest in yourself to get those things because they were expensive. Like, they weren't easy to come by. So that's why I also believe that the quality of the music was probably a lot better back then because you actually had to be real passionate. But with that being said, this actually brings me to, like, I think it was the last video that was posted in the Discord chat that I was telling you that I was watching earlier. And one of the things that really bugged me was, I can't remember his name, but it was like the Arab guy that was in the middle, and he was kind of, I didn't like how he was speaking about the culture and kind of alluding to the fact that rap music is often associated with degeneracy or, like, you know, the culture of black.
I'm glad I never watched that video. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It pissed me off bad because he was trying to justify that as to why, like, because he started talking about, you know, that streaming thing that, like, I don't remember I do not remember names. I remember faces. I don't care. But that streaming debacle where some guy was, like, on a stream and he was in an Airbnb, and then there was a rapper that came in and was smoking.
Oh, so you had Black Boy Max, and that was 5Yo Foreign and Lil TJ.
Yes, so they were talking about that, and they're like, oh, like, Lil TJ, he like that, because, like, these new up-and-coming rappers, like, a lot of their music is about, like, aggression and, you know, like, not giving a fuck. So if they're portraying themselves as, like, you know, being kind, it kind of takes away from that image. I was like, no. In the past, there were rappers who would be basically rapping about gang violence, but still had respect and manners when it came to interviews or when it came to being in public spaces with people who are wanting to kind of promote them. You know what I'm trying to say? So that really pissed me off when I was listening to that, because I was like, no, when it comes to culture, you can't immediately associate that with degeneracy, because there's been rap music that has uplifted, has created revolutions, that has nothing to do with, like, violence in the sense of, like, violence for violence, but violence as a reaction to violence against us. So to limit it to that pissed me off so bad, like bad.
The issue is that there's a lot of people that are speaking towards the culture that is not of the culture.
They're not of the culture. That's why I listen. I'm literally Muslim. I have nothing against Arab people, but it felt very disingenuous hearing that from him. Like, I get it. You might have been grown up around the culture, but if you don't understand the culture. And so he was even kind of saying, like, it might be because of how they may have been raised, like if there's certain parents not in the home and all these things. And I had to sit there. I was like, no. Even if you're raised by a single mother, one of the first things they will teach you is to have manners. If you walk into a house, somebody's house for the first time, you see them take off your shoes, there's no question of asking, do I take, you just take off your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just manners. If you're told, don't do that, you don't do that in somebody else's home. It doesn't matter about, like, black people as, like, a culture. Like, forget where you're from, if you're from the Caribbean, if you're African, whatever, or black American. Black people are actually very often told to have manners, because if we don't, we are very easily going to become a target. And stereotypes are so much easier when we're not respectful. So for him to associate, maybe it's because of his upbringing, I was like, why would you even assume that? Like, why would you assume that his upbringing is the reason why he doesn't have manners? He's just a rude person. That was just rude behavior. And apparently he had his reasons because he thought there was regardless of that, you were invited. One of y'all was invited. One of y'all brought an entourage, and one of y'all was just being disrespectful over nothing because you thought there was an op in the room. That has nothing to do with black culture. That's everything to do with them as individuals just being fucking weird.
Let me speak to this point, because the whole degeneracy and all this garbage, this is the result of the data from the music that is put out today.
But that's also why it's been argued that you shouldn't, like, they can't charge somebody based off of the lyrics that are made in songs, because art should be separate from the person, but we've often started to associate. And the thing is, there are certain things I will continue to associate with the person in certain cases, but I can't say that all, like, it's just very disingenuous to say that all rap music is violent. That's what I'm saying. That's the point. That all rap music is not violent.
That's how they want it to be. You got to remember, back in the day, when the labels, the government, and the prison system got together and made that agreement, from then on out, it was downhill for gangster rap and all that shit. That's where gangster rap was born, to be honest. From that room. And of course, they used the NWA to help push it. So, and now you see music today. Imagine you have all these songs that come out on Fridays, on Thursdays, on Tuesdays. All this music. And a lot of the music that comes out is negative compared to the little amount of positive music that we have out there. Like, you see how they kind of, it's not an attack on culture, but they're trying to, like, push the culture to the side and present, look, if you guys just keep talking about this here, you can get money, get fame, get the girls you want, get the house and car you want, and then you can just go about your business, not realizing they're selling them a dream that will lead to despair.
Of course. But the other thing that I also want to point out, like, and this is, okay, it's a lesser part in the grander scheme of things, because you are right, like, the music industry will likely more so push out a certain specific type of genre of music when it comes to black people, rather than, like, another different genre. With that being said, the other genre that I'm referencing does exist. So, like, there's still very much revolutionary music, or just more conscious music or whatever. But at some point, we also have to decide, we also have to decide, like, where personal accountability comes into. Because even for me, like I told you, I did not listen to music for a very long time because I had to decide, I was like, I can't listen to shit anymore. Like, I can't absorb this and not, like, lose my mind, because I'm like, what are we even talking about? Why are people, like, for the beat, cool. Like, the beat's great, but what am I listening to? What am I consuming, and how is this going to impact, like, my mind? There's a girl on TikTok, love her down, I wish I could remember her name, but she does these little, like, personal experiments and studies where she will listen to either one specific genre or one specific artist for a long period of time, and she will kind of document how her life and how her mentality and how her thoughts will change over that time period. I honestly want to do that at some point, and I want to look into, like, the different genres and see how that technically changes your mindset in a certain way. But at some point we have to take accountability. Yes, this society right now and culture is really messed up. Yes, it's because a lot of what's being pushed out is kind of like encouraging us to be negative or encouraging us to be real weird and kind of basically against each other. But at some point, if we are aware of that, why are we not going against that?
That's all it is. The reason why like I wanted to have that whole conversation is because like now that you bring it back to Drake and Kendrick, take everything that you took, take everything that you said, now apply it back to Drake and Kendrick. Now you start to understand. Looking at based on like what this formula is, cool. It's gonna take longer for you to be the great person that you are. But if you take that short term, you take that fast track, and you go down that path, this is the result. Now Drake did what he had to do to maintain himself by jumping towards different artists and all that, and then riding their wave. Cool, you did what you needed to do, but you're only running from the inevitable. Because think about it. Think about Drake as a whole. Great artist, performer, cool. But look at the content in the tracks. It hasn't changed for years.
Obviously. But that's because he hasn't really chosen to, like, evolve in much. But here's the thing, Kate. Obviously, ghostwriters have existed for centuries. However, not so much in rap the way that Drake has normalized it. And that's part of the problem. You can't evolve if you have other people constantly writing for you, because the other thing is you might evolve eternally, but if there's other people writing for you, they might not see or understand that evolution, and they'll still just be seeing you as the person that they've been writing for years. So that's the other thing where I was like, I'm not surprised that eventually a lot of his music will sound the same, because he was just trying to push what he thought was popular. And even just going to the other cultures, like, I thought it was a little bit cute, like a feature here and there, but like when you're doing whole albums where you're basically almost like impersonating a different culture, it gets weird. It gets real weird. So even if you're saying like he needed to do what he had to do, I don't think he needed to do that. Even Lil Wayne himself told him, don't try to be like me, just be yourself. Drake stopped trying to be himself, because Drake isn't even himself. Drake is a persona.
I'm actually
like in rap, like a lot of people have their personas, but his persona, unfortunately, is just not authentic. It's not as authentic as he would like people to make him believe.
Actually, I'm glad you brought up Lil Wayne, because shout out to Blue Jay. He said in the chat, Wayne told Drake long time ago, keep it Canadian, and he never understood that.
Thank you, Blue.
It's sad to see. It's sad to see. It's really sad to see. Cause like you were literally given a path. You're given a fork in the no, not even a fork in the road. You had options on this path to go down, and you chose.
You could redesign it however you wanted, but like within your own means. Like it was still a blueprint for you specifically, and you went out of that.
I don't know what else to say. It's just sad to see. And now that you have this new defamation suit. Like,
I'm sorry, that's still crazy to me, and still crazy to me, but only because this can still. Oh, okay. If we're gonna get into the defamation suit, let me know, because I'm ready.
Hey, now's the time, to be honest, because we're probably gonna wrap up soon, so I can get some dinner.
Yes, sir. My food's ready. I just need to sit down and eat. I'm just balling up so that I get my appetite ready.
I'm so dead. Do what you gotta do.
I already know. Hey, so that came as a little bit of a surprise to me, because I just was hearing that he dropped the petition, and I was like, okay, because you're asking for evidence that likely doesn't exist, especially because, again, they're just doing their job. But one of the things that was highlighted within Drake's like this defamation case, I'm going to go back to the article that I was reading.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so his lawyer equated what Kendrick did by calling him and his crew certified pedophiles as like the equivalent of 2020, like a Pizzagate. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Pizzagate, but it's essentially a conspiracy that the elites basically are involved in and also sponsor the sex trafficking of children. Real dark shit. So I'm sorry, but that's essentially what Pizzagate is.
That's out of my hands.
Yeah, some of the things that I ended up reading about it, I was like, I really hope this isn't true. I really hope it's just conspiracy because it's fucking insane. With that being said, for his lawyer to equate it to that when what was said was not necessarily actually like what Pizzagate is versus what Kendrick said are actually not, they're related, but they're not, like, he didn't say enough for you to jump at Pizzagate.
You know they're reaching.
They're reaching, but that's what I'm saying. He's shooting himself in the foot because it's the same thing as like with some of his Drake fans. You know when Kendrick said in I think it was Meet the Grams, he was like him and Weinstein should be locked up in a cell. Mm-hmm. He said Weinstein. People kept bringing up Epstein. Epstein was something different. Weinstein was mostly because like he was taking advantage of women in the industry and like promising them things like that assumption that women make their way to the top because they sleep with people like just that predatory stuff. Whereas Epstein was specifically like child trafficking, like selling them off to like elites. So that's why I was like, hey, Drake's fans actually played him, but now he's playing himself by associating himself with Pizzagate. Because the things that I read about because it's not just about the reason why the elites promote and sponsor the sex trafficking, it's to essentially keep their wealth. I don't want to go into detail because it's dark. I might tell you this like in a voice note later or anything, but it's actually fucking scary. But that's when I saw that, I was like, why would his lawyer even put that in the defamation lawsuit?
They got nothing else.
They do that because if that's a very grave accusation on the other side, because they're technically accusing Kendrick of accusing Drake of being Pizzagate, but no, you just now accuse yourself because all he said was that you be doing some weird shit. And if I mean, like when I listen to the lyrics, a lot of what I even like was reading was when Kendrick was associating Drake with being a pedophile, it also had a lot more to do with his crew being the ones more involved. He was to me, it was alluding to Drake being just kind of like the middleman, like the person who gives people these opportunities to do weird shit, but he himself might have been involved simply because he's also been seen, like, again, on that stage doing some weird shit with 17-year-olds, talking to young girls, like, publicly, under the assumption of mentoring, but realistically, like, why are you having a dinner date with basically, like, a 14-year-old on a boat? That's weird. That's weird. That, like, there's no other way to explain that besides
he's trying to show off.
I'm so sorry. Without your parents there? Without the 14-year-old's parents there? Alone,
the parent. To be fair though, that's kind of like a R. Kelly situation because the parents would drop the kid off.
Okay, you even associating that behavior with R. Kelly? Do you see what you're saying?
I'm helping you out at this point.
Thank you for helping me out because it does help me out because exactly, it's freaking weird. So the defamation again, for defamation cases, you need to provide evidence that it's not true. And the other thing is, UMG would also then have to provide evidence that it was true, and it's technically not defamation. And if they go deep into this, what I'm saying, Drake is playing himself initially by that defamation case, number one. Because now they have to look into you. Maybe this was enough time for you to get rid of the evidence, but realistically, I'm sure somebody probably still has it, especially, I'm sure Kendrick probably still has it, especially if he had been plotting for this song enough to vocally and with his chest call you a pedophile. Second of all, you're then playing yourself, or at least your lawyer is, by including that just even reference of Pizzagate. Like, why would you say Pizzagate? That is like the worst thing you could associate yourself with. Like, oh my god, it's just so terrible.
Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe, okay? Don't forget that part.
Oh no, I'm breathing because this is a breath of fresh air to watch this downfall. I don't care.
That's crazy. You a Drake hater, like.
I'm just a hater.
See, everyone thinks that I'm the hater, but like I'm very critical when it comes to dude, because if you're gonna represent this country, you gotta stand on business. You know, you can't move around like this. If you claim to be clean, wow, words are hard. If you claim to be king, move as such. That's it. It's as simple as that.
And again, I need to point out, as much as I am a hater, there's specific people that I choose to hate. So it's just weird people, stupid people, and gross people. Very small list.
Shout out to hold on. Shout out to Around the World for your subscription. I appreciate you, bro. We only going up.
Sorry, Sean, you're saying?
I'm just saying. I know a guy you can hate on.
Who?
Well, can I say his name?
Be free.
Go on.
Soul Illuminati.
Illuminati?
Oh, Soul Illuminati.
Soul Illuminati.
Yeah. How come?
I don't know, but go on. Tell me why I should hate him.
I'm familiar with him, but go ahead, explain.
He's just a goofball. All right. Stupid ass goofball to me.
I mean, that's valid. We don't have time for that shit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we in a lock-in period where we all gotta lock in and get our shit done. Anything else on the lawsuit? Cause I'd probably end it soon. Don't want to drag it out for too long.
Much, just simply that he's further plaguing himself because dropping one lawsuit to do another, it's not helping your case. Even if you just dropped it, wasn't gonna help your case. I get it, but this one actually is worse, unfortunately, and that's just the craziest part.
All I need to say is, as like a final thought, the culture will tell you who you are. Mm-hmm. That's all I need to say. The culture will let you know. The culture told Kendrick, you got it.
If you choose to not listen, that's on you.
Yeah. If you're not listening to the rules of culture, then you're on your own. And look at what's happening. He's literally on his own right now. It's unfortunate, but it's so important to be words, Jesus. It's so important to be familiar with the culture. Even if you're outside it, like Eminem, look at Eminem. Mm-hmm. He embodies it where he goes. Look at his raps, his demeanor, everything. It's as simple as that. Any final thoughts, Sean, before I cut?
Not really. But appreciate being here. And again, if y'all want to subscribe to my channel, because again, I say how I'm feeling about certain topics and what's on my mind.
Hey, that's what's up. Don't forget to shout out your channel name, bro.
Oh, Sean Warren.
There you go. All right, y'all. This is the Flexi Man Network. Hey, Sean, listen, I appreciate you for stopping by, bro. I'm glad you are part of the conversation.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, G. All right. Anyway, appreciate you, Mimi.
Of course, I show up.
You already know the vibe. And hey, get your channel started, too.
I will. Okay, so the YouTube channel that I currently have that you know of is one that I made in middle school. The name doesn't even make sense. I need to make a whole new one. So.
Hey, say less. Do what you gotta do, but get to it. That's all I gotta say.
Until I get that, then I'll start shouting myself out.
All right, bet. All right,
Have
so yes, take care, y'all. Be safe, stay true, be you. Live long and long live. Peace. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Take care. Be safe. See ya. Oh, man. Don't worry, I'm right here. Oh, well, I'm not right here, but I exist. Hold on. There we go. Oh, come on, stop playing with me. Hey, listen. We're singling in on me right now, okay? We're singling in on me right now. Let's make it clear. guys, ladies, gentlemen, everyone that tuned in, thank you. Thank you for stopping by, for real. Thank you for stopping by, no doubt. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoy yourself. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate the whole chat for being here. Have love for every single one of y'all, you know. A nice healthy 1 minute and, well, not 1 minute, 1 hour and 25 live. Shout out to the Discord. Shout out to our new subscriber around the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you guys. And yes, expect more from us. Join the Discord. Discord is right there, the Flex Mind Network Discord. Join in, be part of the conversation. I would love to go live and chat with the Discord. So as we build, as we like nurture the Discord and everything, and as we build a channel as well, the Discord is gonna grow and we will have those kind of conversations. But with that being said, this is the Flex Mind Network. Take care, be well, be safe, stay true, be you, live long and long live. Peace. Thank y'all. Take care.